What's coming up in
Well,
round
we're
number
going to
one?
talk about the controversial Atheist Day coming up.
May the 1st.
Day of treason.
Circle.
I think it's time for a rally myself.
Day of reason.
Is it reason? Oh, I thought it was treason.
John. Come on
It'll
now.
be treason by the time I get done with
May
it.
the 1st. It's the John DePetro Show. Starting now.
Yep.
WPR News time is 9:07.
Go. Is God dead? Is God dead in Rhode Island? Well, that's what Governor Chafee says. God dead in Rhode Island, declares Chafee. Or the headline in the New York Post. Chafee to the Catholic faithful. Drop dead. Atheist Day in Rhode Island. A day to immortalize Jessica Alquist. Are you ready for Atheist Day? Should we even have an Atheist Day in Rhode Island to celebrate the Cranston child atheist and all the other non-believers who don't believe in anything? That's what Governor Gump is saying. I disagree. 438-9776. We're going to talk about it right now. But, folks, I want to start off, we broke the news yesterday on the program, which we do so many different times on the show. Those of you that listen know. What starts here then just takes off. Rockets. Even last night, as I was running an errand, I could hear suddenly what we had talked about was still then resonating on the radio. But that is, it's so insulting. Maybe we shouldn't be shocked with it. We really shouldn't be shocked by anything that this particular governor does. But as I mentioned yesterday, Governor Chafee, real thumb in the eye, declares May 1st Day of Treason in Rhode Island, or Day of Reason. He has proclaimed Atheist Day in Rhode Island. All has to do, this is Humanists of Rhode Island, which is code. Those are the real atheists. Secular Coalition for Rhode Island, those are the secular progressives. They're the ones, they're the ones that were, I'll put it this way, it's very simple. They were standing with Governor Chafee on the whole holiday tree foolishness.
Is this a religious program?
So what is so insulting is not only May 1st now going to be Atheist Day in Rhode Island, of which they are laughing about it, by the way. The atheists cannot believe their good fortune that Governor Gump has deemed first Atheist Day in Rhode Island, but it also happens to be on the same day of the National Day of Prayer. Now, no one can tell me that Governor Gump happened to make Atheist Day the same day as the National Day of Prayer.
Times are changing.
Yeah, well, you keep saying that, Governor. But, I don't know about you. I am so fed up. I know he's leaving, and I know he has a 21% approval rating. But make no mistake about it. He is a passive-aggressive. This is Governor Gump putting his thumb in the eye of every Christian.
There are positives here.
Yeah, no, there are no positives here. Now, we're going to reach out to Bishop Tobin. And, folks, this is one of those things. I don't know. I am not. I have so at it with this incompetent buffoon who tries to pass off as our governor. He is mean-spirited. He has done irreversible damage to our state. Made us a complete laughingstock. They lie about the unemployment numbers, and now who knows what he's going to do on his way out the door. And now May 1st, Atheist Day in Rhode Island. I've had it. I'm sick of it. I think we should schedule, we haven't done a rally in a little while. I think we should have a rally May 1st at the Statehouse. Very peaceful, obviously. Show up and show the governor our disapproval of him. This is an attack on all religion. To somehow make it that there's no way it's a coincidence that Governor Chafee proclaims May 1st Atheist Day, which also happens to be the National Day of Prayer. Why couldn't it have been a different day? And what is this that we're signifying atheists? And how many are there even in Rhode Island? Complete foolishness. He has been so supportive. It started with him cheering on the child atheists in Cranston with the whole banner fiasco, which, as we know, was all a money grab, and elevating the uncle atheist who continues to be given a soapbox for whatever reason. folks, enough is enough. People need to be vocal about this. May 1st, as if we can't get more of a black eye. At least as if it wasn't bad enough last week on MSNBC with the transitioning out of corruption, and we're going to start to move out of the textile mills in Pawtucket and West Warwick, make us seem like Ma Pa Kettle. We're transitioning out of corruption.
It's a transitioning also out of the corruption.
Had it. 438-9776. Will you recognize Atheist Day in Rhode Island? Atheist Day in Rhode Island. And what? They want to have the child atheist as the guest of honor in the Gatsby Day parade. 438-9776. There's what? Less than 100 of them in Rhode Island? Why are we even listening to these people? Why do we give them such a soapbox? Why? They have their own day now, and it happens to fall on the National Day of Prayer. That is a complete insult. It's a complete insult to all organized religion. But see, that's what Chafee is all about. As much as people don't realize, I'll tell you, you can't get more vindictive than him and more juvenile. He is so upset that he's bombed out as governor and can't even run for a second term. Pathetic. And who's he taking it out on? Everyone. He just has this vendetta against the church. 438-9776. I think we should be vocal. It's still our state, at least it used to be. I think we should be vocal, and I think we should mobilize on May 1st and go to the State House and make a strong statement that maybe, despite his efforts, God is not dead in Rhode Island. That religion is not something to be mocked in Rhode Island. All right, let's start off with Colin in Scituate on WPRO with John DePetro. Good morning, Colin.
Good morning, Jonathan. How you doing?
Good. Listen, you got to turn the radio down, and we'll come back to him. Talk to him and tell him to turn the radio down. Ann's in Cranston on WPRO. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Ann.
Well, I thought I was hearing things when I happened to put the radio on your station, and you explaining I didn't know about May 1st.
Yes.
And our wonderful governor has a brainstorm. I really don't believe he has a brain. I remember many years ago, we had people of all different faiths in our area.
Yep.
And we respected all of them, and they respected us as Catholics. But this man, I don't know where he came from, because to me his dad was a wonderful man. But he has done the state of Rhode Island. He worries more about being in New Hampshire or Maine and going to other countries and falling all over the president.
That's
and
right.
So forth. And he doesn't do a thing for the people in this state.
That's right.
There are senior citizens who are destitute also. They're hitting it very hard. But yet he doesn't worry about them. He just worries about these atheists. I have nothing against the atheists, but I don't think they deserve a day to celebrate.
No, and Ann, you're being kind. I think there's something wrong with him at this point.
There is. He has to have a mental condition.
Yes.
I mean, anybody that would even think of anything like that. I mean, I don't know if maybe this president, when he leaves office, the governor's going to get something in Washington. I don't know, but it seems like he's just going against the people of Rhode Island.
That's right. I'm not going to acknowledge Atheist Day.
Well,
Atheist Day in Rhode Island.
May 1st, if I can get a ride, I will be at that rally.
Do you think we should do it?
Yes.
I think so, too.
I agree, John.
All right. Thank you for the call, Ann. 438-9776. Let's go back to Colin in Scituate on WPRO. Good morning, Colin.
Good morning, John. Sorry about that.
Quite all right. Go right ahead.
I agree with Ann. Listen, this is ridiculous. There's no reason for you to have a day to glorify the atheist. I mean, I was raised Christian, and I'm not heavy in my religion, but I do believe that that's nonsense. And on top of it, you're saying that it's already, he wants to set this date up on a prayer recognition day.
May 1st is National Day of Prayer, so to really put his thumb in the eye of all organized religions, but especially, see, Chafee hates Catholics, he hates Christians, but he purposely made Atheist Day the same day as the National Day of Prayer.
Absolutely. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that.
No, well, there is. I mean, that's how mean-spirited he is, Colin. Thank you for the call. Folks, 438-9776. You tell me, what's your reaction? Well, I don't want to just say what's your reaction, but I'm not going to acknowledge Atheist Day in Rhode Island. Do we need, we have Memorial Day, Labor Day, we have Victory over Japan Day. You have, today's Earth Day, so we should have May 1st, Atheist Day, on the same day as the National Day of Prayer. That is mean-spirited by the governor. All should. And I think it's time we make a statement about it. May 1st, across the country, National Day of Prayer. Well, what does Governor Gump, your governor, do to put a thumb in the eye of all organized religion? So sick of the Catholic bashing. He makes it Atheist Day in Rhode Island, May 1st.
When I was in first and second grade, we used to say the Lord's Prayer.
There you go. Monarch is in Providence on WPRO. Good morning, Monarch.
Yes, good morning, John. It's the first time I'm calling, but I usually listen to your show.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So, listen, everybody has the right to choose, but there is consequences anyway for what we stand for, what we believe or not. So now about the atheist, of course I am a believer. I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I do not get involved in politics or anything. But you know what? What these people, when they say yes to kill babies, yes to gay, yes to abortion, yes to everything that is, the Bible normally condemns, it's because these people are hiding behind the mask.
Monarch, you're Jehovah's Witness?
Yes, I am.
All right, I want to apologize. Are you the one I shoot away from my door on Saturday morning?
Oh, no.
Oh, all right. Were you walking around my neighborhood? Sorry but the dog. Was Rummy barking at you? No?
No, it wasn't.
All right.
Me.
And I apologize for my language when I told you to get the hell out of my driveway.
That's okay. That's
all
okay.
Right.
We understand people. We
caught me off guard in the independent bathroom going to get the newspaper. Hey, do you watch movies, Jehovah's Witness? Do you watch movies? What is it that you can't watch? You do? I thought you can't watch TV.
Oh, my God. Well, I guess you don't know who we are.
No, I do.
No, don't listen to what people are saying. Okay?
Are you sure you're a Jehovah's Witness?
Of course, we are not going to watch, like porn or,
Goodness. That's not on TV anyway, unfortunately.
Oh, no. It's not me. Just
what a one-track mind. I ask you to watch TV. She's like, well, we're not going to watch porn.
Oh, my goodness. No, we watch TV. What
do you watch? Jehovah's Witness around us?
We are just normal people just like you. Oh. So now about the atheist thing, let me tell you something. Most of the time, the people, some politicians, they hide behind the mask.
It's getting high. That explains all the walking around.
No, some people hide behind the mask.
Oh,
so
hide.
Now when the atheists say that they want to have their special day, at least that can help.
Now, when is Jehovah's Witness Day? You bring up a good point. When is Jehovah's Witness Day?
It's every day.
Oh, it is?
Of course, we do have special assemblies 3 times a year, but it's every day is a special day.
Is that Jehovah's Witness? You go door to door and bother people in their own home?
Oh, no. We don't bother people. Now I'm calling about the atheist thing.
Yes.
So at least they want to show to the world who they are. At least, that will give a chance.
I don't want to give them a chance, Monarch.
No. It just is going to give a chance for a lot of people to see.
One thing, all that walking around you guys do, at least it keeps you...
people don't believe in God.
I don't see a lot of heavy, out-of-shape Jehovah's Witness, all that walking.
You don't do what?
I don't see a lot of your fellow Jehovah's Witness with all the walking. Most of them that I see are pretty thin.
I don't know what do you mean by that. Fine point.
I mean that as a compliment, Monarch. That with all the walking door to door, that as I think of it, I don't see a lot of them that are out of shape. Thank you for the call, Monarch. 438-9776. Toll free 1-800-321-WPRO. Folks, do you support Governor Chafee's idea of Atheist Day in Rhode Island falling on the same day of the National Day of Prayer?
Is this a religious program?
This country was founded to be a secular country.
Times are changing.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that, Governor. 9:38 on this Tuesday. Imagine us singing this up at the Statehouse. That'd be fun. Maybe we'll do a rally. I haven't done a rally in a while. Folks, good morning. It's John DePetro on this Tuesday. I brought you the news yesterday, and then the news, we got more details about it. And I want to be very, very clear about it, because as you can imagine, the atheists are out in full form now trying to attack me. But Governor Chafee declares May 1st. Now, May 1st is the National Day of Prayer. May 1st is the National Day of Prayer. So what does he do to really stick it to organized religion? And the governor just has this animosity, if you will, towards especially the Catholic religion, Christians. He decides to name May 1st in Rhode Island Atheist Day in Rhode Island. Now, let me be very clear. They're calling it a day of reason, or as I call it, a day of treason. But it's all just code. Because the groups that push for this are the Rhode Island, which is the atheists in Rhode Island, and the Secular Coalition for Rhode Island, which is just more code for more atheists in Rhode Island. There's no reason. Who can defend making May 1st Atheist Day, which also happens to be the National Day of Prayer? And on top of that, let's go further. Do the atheists really deserve their own day in Rhode Island? Based on what? What do they have? 70 people that are members constantly? Chafee is their warrior. Chafee is their leader. Chafee is the one, Governor Gump, that applauded the Cranston West banner. And never forget, the Uncle Atheist and the Atheist, it wasn't enough just to win. You remember their whole thing was, don't just take down the banner, destroy the banner. And the atheists that went to Cranston West were all mocking the religion and how the child atheist continues to, they pretended she was threatened and persecuted and all this other foolishness that goes on. And it's all was done, creative victim. The ACLU jumped in there. Then they went after our cross in Woonsocket. Then, of course, Chafee trumped all with the whole holiday tree fiasco. Deval Patrick, he doesn't even call it a holiday tree. At the White House, it's the White House Christmas tree. But now, Gump leaving office, 21% approval rating, can't even run for re-election. So what does he say? Oh, it's May 1st, National Day of Prayer? Guess what? I'll make it Atheist Day in Rhode Island.
Working on a peaceful world.
Yeah, peaceful world. And a divisive state. The best, never forget, and again, we'll take more of your phone calls on this. I think it's appalling. I really do, folks. You don't fall for this foolishness of, oh, no, it's just a day of reason. No, it's a day of treason is what it is. That is code. That those groups put that forward is a way, to them, it's a big victory, and they love the fact that it falls on the National Day of Prayer.
Hope springs eternal.
It's the ultimate spiking the ball in the end zone. They are mean-spirited. This was done on purpose. There's any other day that the governor could have chosen. But no, he wanted to choose the National Day of Prayer. 438-9776. Pete in Wakefield on WPRO. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning, John. I want yours to go from lambasting the governor to discussing porn with Jehovah's Witnesses. Or at least I want your meds. Let me put it that way.
Thank you, Pete. Actually, the Jehovah's Witness was discussing it with me, but go right ahead.
Well, when did I missed the announcement? When did he actually make the announcement? Today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Proclamation.
Then that even goes to show just how venal a man he is, because he did it right after Easter, which is the highest holy day.
Yep.
Of the Christian calendar.
Easter Monday, yes.
So to me that basically says he's just a low-spirited, venal guy. And one of the things I've figured out, you can talk about what people believe, but if you really want to see what people are about, look at, do they act with class and grace?
Yes.
So if he is the poster child for the atheist movement, I think that doesn't bode well for them.
Well, that's a good point. He's also failed, Pete. You make some very good points. But the point, thank you, Pete, the point is he is a passive-aggressive. He has this real mean streak about him. And, from day one, the whole thing, there was no problem with all the other religions, but he refused, no, I will never call it a Christmas tree. He just has this thing, the same thing. He's had animosity towards Bishop Tobin. It went beyond same-sex marriage. It was like the governor's motivation for same-sex marriage was just really his hatred towards the Catholic Church. And it is odd. I admit, folks. Don't you agree it's odd at 438-9776? First-time callers. I realize some people are actually off this week because their kids are off on vacation, so maybe you're listening to the program. But you have to admit, it is odd that in the most Catholic state in the country, which is Rhode Island, that you have a governor that hates Catholics.
I don't make anybody happy.
Catholic bashing and goes out of their way to try to offend. No one can convince me this was done by accident. He chose May 1st because it happens to be the National Day of Prayer. He chose the proclamation to fall on Easter Monday. Do you really think these things happen by accident? 438-9776. Toll free 1-800-321-WPRO. Eric in Cranston's on WPRO with John DePetro. Good morning, Eric.
Hi, good morning, John.
Good morning, Eric.
I'm good. First of all, are you a Catholic?
Yes, I'm Roman.
Okay, listen. God, if you can, I don't have anything against Catholic. I'm a Christian. I feel that we all have to be one. No matter what the person is, the way you are talking to the Jehovah's Witness.
Why did you ask if I'm Catholic? You sound like someone who's got something against Catholics.
No, I don't. Trust me. I was born in Africa in the Anglican Church, the same way. But to me, it doesn't matter.
I think I sense some Catholic bashing from you, Eric.
Listen, John, I don't hate any Catholics. I love them. I go to church anytime when I go anywhere and there's no church and there's only Catholic there, I go.
Oh, how noble of you. So even if there's nowhere to go, then you lower yourself and you go in with the Catholics.
No, it's not lower myself.
Well, I don't know if I appreciate you talking down to us.
No, I don't talk down to no Catholic.
Is this Eric or is it Governor Chafee in disguise?
No, this is Eric. I'm from Cranston. I'm a
You
Christian.
sound like Governor Chafee disguising his voice.
No. Listen, the way you talk to the Jehovah's Witness.
Well, I didn't appreciate her discussing porn.
No, she wasn't discussing porn. You was making fun of her. You supposed to be the voice of not making fun of.
Hardly. We were having a religious discussion. She started discussing porn. It made me wildly uncomfortable.
No. See, you don't listen. You talk to listen. You're supposed to listen to people. Let them speak.
You're not yelling at me, are you, Eric?
Oh, all right.
Are you yelling at me?
No, I'm not. You are the one. You see.
Is that what they taught you in Africa, to yell at the white man?
Oh, please, don't be. See where you are now? A Christian. Don't become a
Where were you born? Hey, don't take your animosity out on me. All right, I'm Catholic and I'm white. I don't know. Hold your horses there, pal.
No. It doesn't matter. There's so many Catholics in my country. It doesn't matter.
Gee. Sounds like it's lowering the whole population there.
John, listen.
I don't know if you got up on the wrong side of the bed, but this Catholic bashing, you're insisting on discussing porn with a Jehovah's Witness friend. I still think this is Governor Chafee disguising his voice.
John, nobody knows what you do at home. Maybe you watch porn. Who knows?
Are you crazy?
Now, let me tell you.
Where were you born? Where were you born?
We are all Christian. I was born in Africa. You don't need to know. I'm African.
Whereabouts?
I'm American now. I'm a citizen just like you.
Supposedly.
There's nothing wrong.
Allegedly.
There's nothing wrong with me.
I'm not saying there is.
John, I listen to your show. I like your show.
I sense a lot of animosity towards me.
But today, you say something that really
do you hate it? Do you hate all white people or just me?
No, I don't hate you.
Listen, you got to let go of your anger towards the whites.
No,
I had nothing to do with the slave trade. I want to go on record right now.
I listen to
I was against it
every day. I like your program, but today,
Thank you.
They say that any person, somebody who is trying to draw a straight line, doesn't know that the back is crooked. I'm listening to you, and I'm trying to call you to let you know wrong.
What?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
All right. Well, I can accept constructive criticism.
You don't make fun of any other.
Hardly. I am the defender, Eric. Do you know we have people that listen to this program in Africa online?
Yeah, I know that.
Yes.
But what I'm
Number one in South Africa. Sound the trumpet, cool one.
John, I don't hate white people. I love
I'm glad to hear that. Gee, what a sigh of relief, said the Jehovah's Witness Catholic hater. Sound the trumpets.
You chose not to. You choose to be
Say that again. Eric doesn't hate white people.
But I think that the Catholics, when they listen to you right now, they will know that you are not a good Catholic.
I am Catholic.
The good Catholic will not behave the way you are behaving.
Why? I'm upset at the governor, Eric. How about cutting me a little slack?
That one is not. I don't care about what the government is doing because I believe in God. I'll choose to.
I'm glad to hear that.
I choose to worship God and pray and do everything every day, not just one single day. I'm not choosing one day to do that. It's every day thing.
Hey, you'll be happy to know. Sunday night, I watched 12 Years a Slave.
So, see, I hope that I'll pray that God.
Very violent. Very violent.
God will forgive you for the way you think.
Oh, come on, Eric.
Seriously.
Listen, Eric, what you got to understand. Listen, you're new to this country. Let me explain something. You're new to this country. We have to all come together.
I'm new to this country.
I said we all have to come together, Eric.
If you go deep,
but Eric, here's the thing. I respect whatever religion you are.
John, I'm a Christian, just like you.
Good. Then we get along. That's why you enjoy the program.
Doesn't make any difference.
Right.
Okay? We are all the same.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you is,
yes.
Don't see the fellow Catholics are listening.
I don't like those Jehovah's Witnesses waking me up or bothering me in the morning.
You know what? May God be with you. Shalom.
All right. Shalom. Thank you, Eric. 438-9776. Toll free 1-800-321-WPRO. Rick in Tiverton on WPRO. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Rick.
John.
Good morning, Rick.
John, we're having a little fun this morning. I love it, too. Listen, John, just a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
This guy...
I'll see if I can answer.
This wonderful governor...
Yes, your governor.
Gump. My governor, of course, I forgot to vote for him.
Oh.
But anyway...
Remember, with the union, that would be a yes vote if you forget to vote. I'm surprised Chafee doesn't run for re-election and try that scam. If you don't vote for me, it's a yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Rick.
Listen, John.
Everybody listen. Voice of reason on the line. Go ahead.
This clown, I shouldn't call him a clown.
Why not?
What is, right?
Yes.
But the story is this. Is he going to have the gall to declare this as a state holiday and have all the state workers and schools closed?
I didn't even think of that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there any plan to do that by him in his announcement?
That's a good question, Rick. We'll have to follow up. Maybe we'll call the governor's office in just a little while, Rick. But again, folks, I want to be very clear. I think what is very insulting is that the governor chose May 1st, which is National Day of Prayer, and he chose that day to be his Atheist Day. He could have picked any other day. But don't tell me it was an accident that the governor chose that day to really stick it to organized religion with his Atheist Day, Day of Treason.
That's the key to success, though.
Common Sense for Today. John DePetro. News Talk 630 and 99.7 FM. WPRO.
On this Tuesday, good morning, everybody. This is John DePetro. Days 9 till noon right here on WPRO, talking about Governor Chafee, another thumb in the eye to organized religion, naming May 1st Atheist Day in Rhode Island. 438-9776. Our friend Kara joins us from Galilee, where Christ walked on the water. Good morning, Kara.
Hi, John. It's Kara Young. How are you?
Very well.
Easter.
Happy Easter to you, Kara.
Happy Easter Monday. Well,
it's Tuesday, but go ahead.
It is so insulting and outrageous to see them continuing with this obvious agenda again. And people really need to understand that their objective is not reason. It is to deconstruct religion, family, and population in order to remove all hope so that people will be willing to accept a fascist government where religion is not allowed. And there was a great article, I know I brought this up a lot in the past, it's called the Frankfurt School Conspiracy to Corrupt, that explains how this agenda started. And the strange thing is that, they don't ask the reason why everything was created. God is the how and the why of why everything was created. He created the world because he loves humanity and he wanted to bring humanity closer to him. So in that way, coinciding with a day of prayer, a day of reason is almost, it could fit, not for the reasons that they wanted to. But I really think that you're right, that this is not just trying to remove religion, but it's an actual attack of anti-theism. It's not atheism, it's anti-theism. They want to destroy religion, and it is anti-Catholic, because you really look at a lot of these groups, Freedom from Religion Foundation and the other groups, they're like just zeroing in on Catholicism and Christianity, especially Catholicism. They push, in addition to trying to remove God from society and attacking God, they also push everything that God is against. not every, but like, they push abortion, they push same-sex marriage. And unfortunately, when you look at a lot of the things that Chafee has done, and not everything he's done is bad, but when you look at how he promoted so heavily abortion and promoted same-sex marriage and pushed, sided with the atheists who wanted to tear down the Cranston West prayer banner and refused to call the Christmas tree a Christmas tree. Yep. And you have to look at this. Any reasonable person would look at this and say, my gosh, they are attacking religion.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, that is reason to look at this, and you have to see what they're doing. They are deliberately trying to destruct religion, family, and population. They're trying to remove God. It's a war on God.
That is exactly right. Excellently said, our friend Kara. Folks, we're going to keep this going next hour, plus more of your phone calls, 438-9776. Right now, though, 10 o'clock, time for the news. There he is, Bill Haberman, on the Voice of Rhode Island. News Talk 630 and 99.7 FM, WPRO.
They are deliberately trying to deconstruct religion, family, and population. They're trying to remove God. It's a war on God.
I'm so glad and proud that the right decision was made.
When I was in first and second grade, we used to say the Lord's Prayer.
10:08 on this Tuesday. Good morning, everybody. This is John DePetro. Weekdays, 9 till noon, right here on WPRO. On this Tuesday, April 22nd. Final full week of April. Boy, it's flying by. It's amazing we have to wait to May to get any decent weather around here. Thanks a lot, Chafee. Why not? Blame him for everything. I'm really leaning heavily towards Clay Pell. It's so tempting. He's, the whole Jerry Maguire had me at hello. I mean, he had me at the missing Prius. It's tough to find people like that.
Real people.
Yeah, can you imagine the fun we'd have, Governor Pell? Total Lieutenant Nitwit in charge. I mean, Governor Buffoon. It's very tempting. I know the state would go to hell in a handbasket, but I'm not sure anyone running could really straighten it out anyway. So, selfishly, I'm starting to lean in the category for Clayboy Pell. I think, if it's kind of like you're on the Titanic, you might as well have a few laughs on the way down. I mean, the lifeboats have left, so might as well just try to enjoy the free ice, in other words.
This is the time to get the state moving again.
The indoor swimming that's available. But in the meantime, we do have our own governor. I have a bunch of links if you go to my Facebook page, John DePetro -radio. Click the like button. What are we up to? Over 9,200. State of Rhode Island, where the governor posted the day of treason, saying May 1st. Basically, it's Atheist Day in Rhode Island. We also have, who is our friend Jim O'Reilly did a nice cartoon, so to speak, of Governor Gump. Progressives who hate Christian proclaims new state holiday. What else do we have? Do you agree with Governor Chafee making May 1st Atheist Day in Rhode Island? 62 people have responded. I'll have to go, and then there's also some pictures of the Easter Parade in Rhode Island. But Chafee blames media for low job approval rating. I mean, it just goes on and on. So 438-9776. Now, I like the people, well, it's actually called the Day of Yeah, I know what they're trying to call it. But it's also insulting to look at this any other way. And I want to be very clear. All right, so we were having a little fun last hour, but let's just be very clear. You have to look at when there's, like I've said, he's a passive-aggressive, and he doesn't always come out, your governor, and announce, what's the real reason he does things. But to me, there's no coincidence that he picked May 1st, the National Day of Prayer, to make that what he's calling a day of reason. It's not a day of reason. As our listener Kara pointed out, I mean, it's a direct insult to link in the day of prayer the same day that you're basically, humanists is really atheists, and secular coalition of the secular progressives. Folks, it's all like that same liberal, secular progressive group that Chafee is the warrior head of, where, this was the foolishness we went through with the whole, you got to call it a holiday tree, which, as I said, not even the president agreed with or Deval Patrick. The only people that agree with them are the atheists. And no, they don't warrant their own day in Rhode Island, period. And they certainly don't warrant it on the National Day of Prayer. There's no other way to look at this other than it is a direct attack and insult towards organized religion. How else can you look at this? Don't be naive. You know, they're not going to call it, as I'm calling it, Atheist Day. They call it, it's Day of Reason, as if anyone could. You can't argue with Day of Reason, you know. That's the way they try to frame it. And they're very underhanded in their method. But listen, it's code. They're jumping up and down. They can't believe that Chafee did this. But, you know, the captain asleep at the switch. What did I also just see? Somebody sent me that he's apparently now doing another trip out of state to go speak somewhere. I think I saw that. He's going to be speaking. I'll have to check on Twitter. It's Syracuse, I think.
You're heckling me here.
Anything other than to be in Rhode Island. That's his plan. 438-9776. Toll free, 1-800-321-UPRO. Also, follow me on Twitter. Are you on Twitter? Good. It's John DePetro Show on Twitter. Again, first-time callers, welcome. We first started talking about this yesterday, and then it took off as the day went on, and then sure enough, yes, he issued a proclamation. How insulting to even release this on Easter Monday. This guy is just, it's one thing after another. His damage isn't done yet. Remember, folks, it's only April. He's basically in power until January, so who knows what type of havoc he could cause between now and then. Joe in Narragansett's on WPRO with John DePetro. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Joe.
I don't know of any atheist groups in this country who enable child abusers and then get canonized. Where is your humility? This is what outrageous.
What's that?
Somebody being canonized,
right?
Child who enabled a child
That's
abuser,
not true.
and you're
That's not true.
criticizing.
You know, this
and you're
is
criticizing people who, for their belief, who have done nothing. Baloney.
What do you mean done nothing? And they don't believe in anything either. Don't
Correct.
tell me you called up to criticize Pope John Paul II?
Absolutely.
Then there's something wrong with you.
Oh,
he is
nothing
one of
wrong
the
with you,
he
though.
is one of the greatest humans of our generation. He deserves to be a saint.
Why did he turn his head on child abuse?
He didn't.
John?
You know, that is a complete lie. And I'm sick
Read
of
the paper
people
this
like what do you mean
morning.
read
Read
the
anything.
paper? I'm sick of people like you with the Catholic bashing.
Yeah, well, you don't want to hear the facts. They might get in your way.
It's not a matter of that. The church has paid a heavy price, and it's atheists like you that like to attack the church and bring that out.
Bring that out. Oh, it's all baloney.
I'm not saying that.
No,
No, it's a very painful thing that the church has gone through, and the people that support the church had to go through it as well. But what I saw on Sunday when I went to Easter Mass was family. The people in our church, at our parish, are tremendous, and they do far more for other people than you and your atheist friends that just sit around and accumulate and do nothing. You contribute nothing to society. Your poster boy is a blank wall. You're an embarrassment. You people are filled with anger. How dare you knock Pope John Paul II, who was a saint on earth?
How dare you
You
attack
stand for nothing.
a
You are
group
bankrupt.
when you people are honoring someone who enabled child abusers?
That is
I can't believe that
completely
you have the
false.
chutzpah.
You don't know
and
what you're
chutzpah.
talking about. What's it like to be so lost? But, you know, see, that's why you're an atheist, because you are completely lost.
No.
And you worship your little banner tearing down hero in Cranston. You people are filled with anger. I don't know what it is.
And you worship child rapists. How do you
Hardly.
like that?
That is completely false. How can you say that 2 days after Easter?
I can say it
You know,
anytime I want. The
yeah,
truth
yeah,
is the truth, my friend.
That is not the truth in any
The
way.
truth is
How
the truth.
insulting. Yeah, and you're a Chafee supporter as well, I'm sure, aren't you, Joe?
I was,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's done a good job.
Oh, even you've run against him now.
I don't run against anyone.
Pope John Paul II does tremendous work.
Hey, there's
And-
good and bad in everything, John. Is there not?
There's more good than bad in the church.
Well,
but I don't see any positive work being done by your community.
By the
All
way,
you
May
want to
1st
do
was
is tear
May Day
things
before
down.
it was National
yeah,
Prayer
how
Day.
about that? National Communist Day. Of course, Chafee wants to make it that day. Are you saying, Joe, that it couldn't be another day? It couldn't be another day, your atheist day? Why does it have to be the National Day of Prayer?
I don't think it really matters. I don't think it's first of all, it's only this year that they're going to coincide. Next year,
Why not have a different day?
Prayer Day is, well, it will be next year. Thursday is going to be prayer day. I think it's the first Thursday in May. Just so happens to coincide this year. You look for things to be insulted about.
That is not hardly,
you know
just the opposite.
If I want to
just
look
the
for
opposite.
things to be insulted about.
No. Here's where you're being unfair. At least admit that it could be another day. It doesn't have to be on the National Day of Prayer. 438-9776. Toll free, 1-800-321-WPRO. Now, if there's other atheists, you heard, I left him on a long time. I didn't just hang up on him. You know, that is such a cheap shot to take at the church and constantly bring up the priest scandal. Like every Catholic. I was disgusted at that. You continue to be disgusted at that. Of course you would. Anyone that would do that. You don't hear anyone trying to defend any of that. No, anyone that would do that to a child needs to be punished to the full extent of the law, without question. Something like that, it disgusts me, and it really takes away all the good work that people in the church do. But they always like to throw that out. 438-9776 or toll free 1-800-321-WPRO. You can email me, John, John, at 630WPRO.com. We'll come back, more of your phone calls.
They are deliberately trying to deconstruct religion, family, and population. They're trying to remove God. It's a war on God.
10:22 on this Tuesday. Very well said by Cara Russo-Young. Folks, it's John DePetro, 438-9776. Toll free, 1-800-321-WPRO. Just know what this is about, and that is Governor Chafee making May 1st, of course, Communist Workers' Party Day, but making that happens to be the National Day of Prayer, and he's making it Atheist Day in Rhode Island. I don't know how you walk away from this unless you're naive, that in fact this is a deliberate attack. It's done on purpose. He could have picked any other day to do this day of treason, but he decided to do it on the National Day of Prayer. There's no other way to look at it. Randy in Providence on WPRO. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, John. Welcome.
Good morning, Randy. Hello.
Hi. I like to make an easy, non-controversial solution to the discussion.
Okay.
Patriots Day, April 30th. Patriots Day, May 2nd.
Okay.
There'll be no controversy in the discussion on that.
If they move the day?
Move the day one day before, one day after.
Well, we can argue. I don't even think there should be an Atheist Day, but it certainly doesn't have to fall on May 1st, Randy.
I know. That's why I said move the day.
Yeah. Well, but I agree. That would be an easy solution. I think how easy that is. But the problem is your governor, he purposely picked it for that particular day. I mean, this wasn't done by accident. Clarice in Bristol on WPRO. Good morning, Clarice.
Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Clarice.
The purpose is to destroy the Catholic Church.
Yep.
Why do they focus on with the abuse in our church? It's happened in other churches too, but they focus on the Catholic Church. And if the truth were known, the KGBs were planted in the seminaries to destroy the church. There's a book out about that in Vatican II also. So that's the truth.
Yep.
And they don't believe in hell, but as Mother Angelica said, they'll believe it when they get there.
That's exactly right, Clarice. Just the attitude of the atheists is so disheartening, isn't it, Clarice?
Yes.
And yet they have a fan in your governor.
Yeah. And if the kids pick up on this, and you know what, better for you if you had a millstone around your neck, if you keep one child away from me. Those are the words that Jesus himself said. So they better be careful. They're treading on very dangerous water.
Thank you very much for the call, Clarice. 438-9776. Toll free, 1-800-321-WPRO. Ed in Situate on WPRO. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, John. How are you?
Very well. Go right ahead, Ed.
John, my theory on all this is I believe that most of the atheists, way in the back of their mind, they have doubts as to whether or not they're right about there not being a God. And they fear that. They fear that they could be wrong and that there actually might be a God. And that every time they see a religious symbol or establishment, it drives home their fear. So they're trying to eliminate it so that they don't have to deal with that.
That is exactly right. What do you make of the governor, Ed? I mean, you're pretty reasonable. There's no way this was done by accident.
No, it's like you said, he's definitely passive-aggressive. It's just he's the most divisive, hateful politician I've seen in my lifetime.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, for a person who's supposed to try to bring people together and have transparency, I've never seen such a lack of transparency in government documents and actions, and also his approach towards different people of different groups. I mean, he's just beyond hateful.
You know what's amazing, Ed, is he's so angry at the people in Rhode Island, Governor Chafee, because of his 21% approval rating, and that he can't even run for re-election because he'd lose. That's Ed. He's so angry at us.
And then like what he does with his Day of Reason, being the way he is, passive aggressive. Basically, what he's saying, without saying it, is if you don't go with that, then you're unreasonable.
Yes. That very good pickup, Ed. See, that's the way they try to frame it, Ed, as who would possibly be against a day of reason.
Right, and if you are, then you're unreasonable.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like, people that say they stay there for world peace. I mean, who the hell isn't? So,
exactly.
But that is a very good pickup. And that's the way they try to frame it. Like, how could you possibly be against a day of reason? It's really a day of treason. Joe in Warwick on WPRO. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Joe.
Let me make myself clear. I am a Roman Catholic, cradle Catholic.
Okay.
I'm 70 years old.
Cradle? What
Cradle Catholic. 70 years old. St. Joseph's in West Warwick.
Okay.
I'll get right to the point.
Go ahead.
John, I admire you, what you're doing, but this is a repeat performance of the prayer banner. Bishop Tobin has got to take off the gloves, and he's got to go head-to-head with Chafee, the ACLU. This is the most Catholic state. And if I may say one more thing, I am going to hold back my pocketbook from the Catholic Charity Appeal because we are getting duped. This is disgusting, John. I'm Catholic. I know where you go to church. I know you're a good Catholic. But, John, come on. Let's be professional about this, and that's what I got to say. I hear the people calling in.
We're going to reach out. I mean, I think Bishop Tobin should weigh in on this, and we'll try to allow that. 438.
When I was in first and second grade, we used to say the Lord's Prayer.
They are deliberately trying to deconstruct religion, family, and population. They're trying to remove God. It's a war on God.
10:37 on this Tuesday. Good morning, everybody. This is John DePetro. Weekdays, 9 till noon, right here on WPRO. Well, you can call in 438-9776. Toll free 1-800-321-WPRO. You can email me, John, JOHN, at WPRO.com. Got some fun email yesterday when we announced. First of all, I announced this yesterday, and then we announced how Gordon Fox is selling his house now on the east side. Boy, that's a good sign of innocence when you start selling the house on the east side. Some of the email yesterday was funny, though. Let's see. John, if you buy Gordon's house, do you have to take care of the mother? I don't think so. I don't think that comes in. And then someone else had some... it's 3.5 baths in the house. 3.5 baths in the house. People are confusing it with something else. So anyhow, that is news that we mentioned yesterday as well, that Gordon Fox. But folks, I don't expect that everybody picks up on this, but I refuse to believe that this is a coincidence, like I said yesterday. And they think they're slick. You have to understand, Uncle Atheist and Governor Gump, they think they're the smartest ones in the room. And they think, it's all about wording. Remember, everything in politics now, it's all about the wording. It used to be the Poverty Institute. And then they said, let's change our name. Now we're the Progressive Institute or something like that. And then it was, we're in favor of gay marriage. And the polls were against that. So what did they change it to? Marriage equality. Who could be against marriage equality? You're against equality? See, everything's a name change with this crowd. And the same thing, the governor, oh, no, it's a holiday tree. You got to call it a holiday tree. Well, now, it's not Atheist Day. It's a day of reason. And if you're against it, Well, you must be unreasonable. You're against reasoning. I mean, they try to, everything is phrased a certain way. But they're not as slick as they think they are. They're not as smart as they think they are. It is wildly insulting on the National Day of Prayer, of all days. That is when Governor Chafee announces it's going to be Atheist Day in Rhode Island.
The world's changing.
Yeah, world's changing. Now, number one, they don't even deserve a day. And number two, don't tell me that it's a coincidence. It happens to fall on the National Day of Prayer. What you should know, your governor is so upset with you that he has a 21% approval rating. He hates you for the fact that he can't even run for re-election. Do you realize that when he had to see President Obama in Connecticut, and the president's like, so how's it coming on the re-election bid? You need me to come in? And then Chafee's like, oh, no, we decided not to run for re-election because I realized, with his negatives, there's no way he could win. And he's going to take it out on you every single day. That's why he wants to travel as much as he can. He hates being in the same state as you. He hates everything you stand for. And he is so bitter, he's going to be a one-term governor. He even tried to switch parties. Oh, I'll become a Democrat, then I'll get elected. 21% approval rating. I love the fact Clayboy's at 9, Governor Gump's at 21, and then Cicilline, Mr. Ukraine, is at 26. Where's he going after this? Syria? Boy, anything to stay out of Rhode Island and have to face the music on Gordon Fox for Cicilline. All right, 438-9776. But just don't tell me it's a coincidence that it happened to be that day. Leah is in North Providence on WPRO. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Leah.
Well, I think this is just another example of how far these politicians will go to pander to whatever the flavor of the month is, even though he's not running. I mean, this is just a pack of hypocrites. I mean, he had a choice to send his kids to, they could have sent them to a madrasa. Instead, he sent them to Portsmouth Priory, one of the more Catholic schools in the country, Benedictine Catholic school with traditions and Vespers and a mandatory year of Latin. Actually, so did Sheldon Whitehouse send his kid there.
Well, actually, no. Whitehouse's kid, I think, went to St. George's.
Well, one of them went to Portsmouth Priory.
Well,
also.
Portsmouth Abbey is the son. But they send them there, though, Leah, because it's a boarding school. That's why they go there.
Exactly. But they're such religious schools. I mean, there are other schools that have Quaker backgrounds, whatever. And they just so happen they chose, Catholic background schools. So, but here they are pandering to the atheist. The kids don't pay the tuition, the parents do.
Right.
And this is where they decided to send them. I mean, it's just such pandering to every little thing that comes down the pike and then forcing it on us.
That's basically what it comes down to. So I'm not convinced. I don't think, is St. George's Catholic? I don't think it's Catholic. Steve in North Attleboro's on WPRO. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Steve. Go right ahead.
Yeah. I was in the car, and I only picked up what you said about 20 minutes ago. I had to hear you twice. But I almost cannot believe that a governor of one of the United States of America would actually create a day like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's trying to accomplish. And regardless of whether it's May 1st or May 31st, I don't know what he's trying to gain by doing this.
Well, he's going out of his way. It's the same way, Steve, that you would insist on calling something a holiday tree. It's really done to insult those that obviously believe in Christmas and see it obviously as a Christmas tree. It's an indirect, passive-aggressive way to really put his thumb in the eye of those that believe in organized religion. That's what it really is. Davey in Warwick's on WPRO with John DePetro. Good morning, Davey.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
First-time caller.
Oh, great. Welcome, Davey.
Yeah, I was trying to make a point of saying that our piece of work governor has picked the wrong month. He should have, instead of May 1st, he should have picked April 1st.
I like that, Davey. Good.
Yeah, the scripture says, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. That's a perfect day.
That would, the April 1st, April Fool's Day would be a perfect date for that. I agree. Mary in Foster on WPRO with John DePetro. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning.
Good morning,
I'd like
Mary.
to say that I pray every day. I don't say normal everyday rosaries, but I do pray. I talk to the Lord all day long. So every day to me is a day of prayer.
That's very beautiful. You pray all day?
Yes, I talk to the Lord all day. Dear Lord, help me do this, or dear Lord, let someone have safe travel on the highway, or Hail Mary, or sometimes I say rosaries. I've done 2 or 3 rosaries at a time.
Wow. You're very committed.
Yes, I am.
Yes. The Lord's a big fan of this program.
Yes.
You don't think so?
What?
What are you, John from Cranston? You know, that's very nice, Mary, and I agree. There's nothing wrong with that, obviously, in any way. Bill in Johnston's on WPRO. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, John. This is a first-time caller.
Look at that, breaking through on the Tuesday. Go right ahead, Bill.
What I have to say is I got to agree with you, number one. They did that deliberately for May 1st. It's another way of slapping all us Christians that we believe in Christ.
Yes.
But they're going to believe one of these days also, especially when they close their eyes and never wake up again, and they're going to say, oh, my God.
I like that. You know, I think there was at some point, thank you for the call, Bill. One of them we had on, I don't forget, and she was saying, like, oh, my God, or something like that, and she was supposed to be an atheist. Patrick is in East Providence on WPRO. Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, John. How are you?
Very well. Go right ahead, Patrick. God bless.
Okay. I'm just wondering why you think it's offensive that he picks the day when the Christians and the Catholics stole all of their holidays pretty much from the pagan holidays.
Excuse me?
All of the Catholic
I don't
holidays
think so,
were
sir.
originally pagan holidays.
I don't think so, St. Patrick.
No, you don't think so? Winter solstice and all that stuff?
What? Listen, we celebrate Easter because Christ came out of the tomb, whether you like it or not.
I understand that, but where is he? You know, you guys get all upset about this, that, the other thing, but where is Jesus? Where is God? They're nowhere. It's a book written over 2,000 years ago with a bunch of magical things in it, and it's still being indoctrinated into society, and you just get a little mad when people are like, we don't believe it. It's a little foolish.
No, I don't mind that because there's always going to be a lost percentage of the population, but what I'm offended by is your governor picks the National Day of Prayer to announce that it's Atheist Day in Rhode Island. I think it's offensive he picked that day.
Atheists don't believe in any of that, so it's a perfect day, really.
No.
So while you guys have your holiday, do you believe in Noah's Ark?
Listen, it's not a matter of what I believe, and it's not a matter of...
Do you believe that the Earth
I believe
is
there
only
is a
6,000 years
movie.
old? Do you believe that Noah built an ark and just saved himself, and then God just blew away the rest of humanity and all the animals on it?
I
believe
May 1st should be the National Day of Prayer. I believe that
but now
Christmas
you're
tree
picking and choosing parts of the
is
Bible
a Christmas
to believe
tree.
in.
No,
Oh,
it's not a
Christmas
matter.
tree.
It's not a matter of that. It's a matter of why does that day have to be Atheist Day? Because you know it could be any other day.
It's a perfect day. The same reason why the Catholics stole December 25th with the winter solstice. It's all the same.
That is the day of Christ's birth. Don't you read the Bible?
Yeah, I've probably read more than you.
I don't think so. 12 years of Catholic
ridiculous.
education.
Okay, if God and Jesus is everywhere, why is the first question in the Bible, Adam, where are you? He's not too smart, is he? He couldn't even find Adam, the only guy on Earth.
I'll tell you who's not smart. That's a good line, is whoever elected this governor, Patrick. There's the answer to that. All right, when we come back, a central figure in the Plunderdome case has passed away. We're going to talk with someone that knew him very well. It's John DePetro, 438-97.
He's a special kind of sentinel.
It's time to talk with John DePetro.
That's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear. Go.
The war on God continues in Rhode Island. Governor Chafee, just like President Ford to New York, dropped dead. That New York Post headline. Chafee to organize religion. There is no God. Paul in Cumberland's on WPRO with John DePetro. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Paul. Go right ahead.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
I suppose so.
My wife just came back from and listened to you in the car, and she was mentioning about your statement, or your news about the governor and naming May Atheist Day.
Atheist Day in Rhode Island, yes.
I have just figured out quickly an acronym for our governor.
Oh, okay. Go right ahead.
I'm dumb, I'm out of touch.
I'm dumb, I'm out of touch?
Yeah, an acronym.
All right.
Use the initials.
I'm dumb, I'm out of touch. All right. I like that. You know, I've done, I think later this week, we've done full fun segments on acronyms, Rhode Island acronyms. We'll have to do that again. Thank you for the call, Paul. 438-9776. Toll free, 1-800-321-WPRO. You can email me, John, John, at 630WPRO.com. What Paul is referring to is we broke it yesterday on the program, and then it is since taken off. Now, I found out that Bishop Tobin is out of town, so May 1st is coming up next week. But this business of May 1st, a day of treason, where we're going to honor the atheists, which should be the National Day of Prayer. How can you look at that is not done intentionally with your governor? I think we are going to call the governor's office. Cool one. We haven't called in a little while. Usually when I call, I try to talk to them. They put me on hold, and no one ever picks up. But maybe I'll actually call Governor Gump's office and see if we can get an answer. I'm just wondering if it was ever debated about doing another day, or why it had to, in fact, be that day. Weekdays, 9 till noon, right here on WPRO. We're going to call Governor Gump's office in just a moment. If you'd like to call us and talk with me on the radio, especially if you're an atheist out there, congratulations, you're going to have your own day. Atheist Day in Rhode Island on May 1st. So insulting on the National Day of Prayer, but that is the governor that we have. But on this Atheist Day, let's call the governor's office. I'd like to try to get an answer here. Go ahead, Cool. Let's dial him up. See if he's in town, and we can maybe get an answer on this.
Su punto de destino es Pontevedra.
Yes, good morning. It's John DePetro calling. I'd like to talk to Governor Chafee, please.
Diga alto y claro su punto de destino.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch that.
Diga alto y claro su punto de destino.
It's regarding the Atheist Day.
Bienvenido al sistema informatizado de venta de billetes de avión.
Well,
por favor,
no,
diga
hold on.
alto y claro
Now,
su
wait a minute.
punto de destino.
Don't put me on hold. Do not put me on hold. Hold button.
That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion.
Oh, what an interesting choice for the hold music at the governor's office. All right, we'll do the countdown. I'm not going to hold more than 10 seconds. Why did they put me on hold? Couldn't they just... I really didn't understand what she said, by the way. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So if I'm calling from out of town right now, this is the hold button music I get at the governor's office. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1. Forget it, Cohen. Forget it. I'm not going to waste my time with that. I have a simple question for him. They throw us on hold. I didn't really understand what she was saying anyway. You know, let's just say I was calling from out of town and I had a question about that 195 land. I mean, that's the treatment that I get? They quickly, number one, I didn't really understand her. And then number two, they just throw me on hold. And that's the hold music they have.
And you name the region Refugio.
Using my religion. That's what they decide. So if I'm calling, I'm a developer. I want to buy 5 acres, 10 acres, whatever. I want to develop it. I have a quick question for the governor, and that's the treatment that I get, and then I'm thrown on hold. Al in North Smithfield's on. Oh, good morning. Oh, good morning, Al.
Hey, good morning, John.
Good morning, Al.
You know, John, I just got in the car, and I've been listening to you for the last 10, 15 minutes. I wasn't aware of the fact that this dud of a governor picked the same day for the atheists as National Prayer Day.
National Day of Prayer is May 1st, and that's the day he chose for Atheist Day.
Right. I mean, why didn't this? I called myself. Why didn't this animal pick Christmas? Why didn't he pick Easter?
Yeah.
You got 365 days in a year. You got to pick the same day, and to disrespect the people who actually believe in something.
Yeah.
You know, John, I try to give an example to my younger son, and the example that I gave him was as far as atheists. You got a picture, and I said to my son, "Do you like the picture?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "All right, now erase it." The blank canvas that you see is what the atheists believe in.
That's right.
And for the governor to have done something like that, look, I'm a Roman Catholic, John, and for the governor to have done something like that, he's an animal. That's all he is. There's no, you can't make any excuse for him. He's just no good. And you know what? He gave up his position when he decided to flip to being a Democrat. He's done nothing positive.
Nothing.
All he does is just all he does is show just disrespect for everybody.
Yes.
I mean, if John, he doesn't like the name of the Christmas tree. He wants to do a national. And by the way, putting it on National Prayer Day is to go in the face of every single Christian and Jew and anybody else.
Yes.
That believes that there's a God.
Yep.
And this, like I said, to do something like this, John.
Yeah.
You've got to be an animal, and that's what he is.
And it's
he's
deliberate,
not Governor
Al.
Gump, he's Governor Animal.
Alan, it's deliberate. See, that's the thing. Like, you can't ignore that. This was deliberate on his effort, on his end. This is his way to jab organized religion, to put Atheist Day on the National Day of Prayer. As you said, it could have been any other day. He wanted it on that day. Now, all he's doing, this proclamation, I mean, they could have done May 8th. They could have done May 7th. They could have done any day, Al. No, he wanted it to fall to send a message on the National Day of Prayer.
You know what, John? He could have, like I said, he could have picked any one of 365 days.
Yep.
And you know what? You want to do something for the atheists? Give them a day of them. Give them their own day.
Right.
I mean, what's the point of?
Yeah.
Why do something like that except to be disrespectful?
Yep.
And you know, all these people that voted this jackass.
Oh my God.
I hope they somehow come to the realization that they were duped, thinking that this moron was going to do something for the union. They didn't vote their heart. They voted for something less, and this is what you get. You get this jackass.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right, Al, and I can hear the anger in your voice. Folks, you can't deny, and by the way, the atheists were celebrating about this yesterday. See, they think it's funny. They think it's humorous. Let's jab organized religion. We're going to have our day of reason. Give me a break. They think they're clever. They think they claim the higher moral ground, moral authority. It's an embarrassment. And this is done. See, everything with this guy, I've been saying this for a while. Everything with this guy is the table for one salute. You know, you try to go to talk to him, and you know he's the type that as you're talking to him, he doesn't say anything, but he starts to scratch his nose with the middle finger. That is your governor. That is his attitude. And like I said, he is so upset with all of us because of his 21% approval rating.
My motto is trust Chafee.
Yeah.
And you can go to the bank with that.
He can't run for re-election. He's a one-term governor. And what did he say? Oh, this way, by not running, I'm going to be able to accomplish more. Could have picked any day. Let me pick the National Day of Prayer to have Atheist Day in Rhode Island. I mean, it just never ends. And who knows what else he's going to do between now and December to take it out on you and your family because you haven't supported him. He feels you've let him down. You're not giving him a second term. Who knows? Maybe he's going to burn the Christmas tree this year. Who the hell knows?
We get some great people.
Rich in Marlboro on WPRO. Good morning, Rich.
Good morning, John. How you doing?
Doing great. Great to hear your voice. Go right ahead.
What a beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
Hey, you know, if these people don't believe in God, they better pray they're right.
That's right.
And do you know what a politician's favorite favorite meal is?
No.
Lame duck.
That's what he is right now. And I like that. He is the lamest of ducks. And remember, there's no atheist in a foxhole. Thank you for the call, Rich. 438-9776. Karen in Warwick's on WPRO with John DePetro. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Karen.
Yes, I am not going to be calling it Atheist Day. I'm going to be calling it Satan Day.
Wow.
Any group that gets together and seeks out crosses and demand that they be taken down only has the devil in mind.
Heathen Day, May 1st.
Oh, God. I don't know. Link swirl, that's all we can do.
That's exactly.
For a little longer.
Yep, a little bit longer with Captain Gump there, Karen. Thank you for the call. Ed in Providence is on WPRO. Good morning, Ed.
John.
Hi there, Ed.
Lenin and Stalin did this back in the 20s.
Did they?
May Day.
Yes.
May Day used to be a May holiday.
Yep.
The communists turned it into a military day. And is he a big fan of Lenin and Stalin?
What do you think? Of course.
Oh, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
With his procedure.
Big time.
He likes, I'm waiting for his 5-year plan.
5-year plan?
That's Stalin's way to get rid of people.
I know that, but hopefully he's leaving in December.
Hopefully we're not going to see any more of him. But his followers, I think, believe in the 5-year plans, too.
That I don't know. But I think people are naive if you don't realize that this is done intentional. I mean, there's no other way to explain it. And again, you can argue that there should be a day of reason, that they have every right. You can argue all. I think that's a separate argument. But to me, why does it have to be on the day of prayer? No, that was done on purpose. Paul and Narragansett on WPRO with John DePetro. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Paul.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, basically, the governor is utilizing his position to antagonize people, and that in and of itself, I find, grounds for, a criminal charge, to put it bluntly. I mean, so that being said, I don't think that we should even have this so-called National Day of Prayer either. I mean, I just don't feel that the government should be involved in any kind of proclamations that give rise to some kind of validation on a religious level. And what Chafee's doing is he's really showing us the worst-case scenario in letting government kind of dibble and dabble into issues of faith and religion by juxtaposing two, positions that are obviously antagonistic to each other, and we all get to witness the acronym, if that's the word, acrimonious atmosphere as a result of that. So it's a tough subject to really opine about without kind of flying in one different direction. But I also say Chafee, using the word reason and applying that particular word to atheists, I find that rather Orwellian, in that why is the government involving itself in the use of words and kind of licensing them to certain groups of people as their moniker? I mean, that to me is obviously, for me, that's the worst part of this from the Orwellian perspective, is that the word reason is being proclaimed by the government as owned by some particular group on that particular day. That is scary to me.
Thank you for the call, Paul. I agree. 438